Hi, good to have you. I'm Vic in VR, and today we'll be taking on three more circuits in the circuit experience. And these will be Grand Valley Highway, Northern Isles Speedway, and Trial Mountain. Now, as always, I'll take you through the laps, describe to you what I'm doing, what to look out for, where to find and lose some time. So first up is Grand Valley Highway. I think it's a pretty difficult track. I really had to get used to it. I'm familiar with this one from the old school Gran Turismo 2 days. It's a different layout, but it is quite similar in some ways to the old track. Not so much visually, but the track layout itself does remind me of the old school one. After getting used to it, thinking I'm starting to like it. Let's get into it. So, turn one coming up. You want to stick to the left-hand side, brake at about 300 meters. Don't worry if you go a little deep here, because the apex is pretty late. Try to apply the power smoothly here, smoother than I did if you possibly can. Short shift isn't too bad either. And for this right-hander coming up, it's really quick. Just lift off slightly and then get on the power again, throw it in there. Try to stick to this left-hand side. Now you'll want to brake at about 350 meters. Try to get that apex and again be very smooth on the power application. A little too conservative here, but it's fine. Through this one, just stick to the middle of a road and really gently press on the brakes just to get yourself turned in here. You don't want to cut the corners too much, just a bit. You can do it here too, back into two, and give yourself a good exit through here. Just don't let yourself get too wide over here because it will mean going off of the track, losing your attempt. Through here, shift it back into two, try and keep the power just to get as much grip as you can through here too. And it just goes on forever. Don't be too quick stepping on the gas again, because you'll probably either slide out or you'll understeer into the wall. Here you brake at about 100 meters, back into two. Try and stick it to the right hand side as much as you can. Just a quick tap on the brakes to get it turned in again here. Now for this right hander, a quick short shift into three really helped me to get the power back on, which is important because this bit is flat out as we head into the tunnel. There's no more braking zones, no more lifting. Just gotta find a good line. It's kind of hard to see here, but you really want to get that apex to give yourself as much speed possible on the final straight. And we're across the line, getting ourselves the time. This one can be pretty difficult. Really practice that second sector because so much time is either gained or lost there. Smooth really is fast here. Try not to get too much oversteer on the exit, and really do use the brakes to turn the car as well. When you need to keep your speed up, just give them a slight tap to help the car rotate. Trail braking can really help you get your car in there in the longer braking zones. So that's Grand Valley done, and now we're on to Northern Isles Speedway. Now this one shouldn't be too much of a problem. I did it in 3 goes. You might be able to get it on your first try. So let's head into it. We'll be using a slightly different car compared to the usual GT3 options we have. So just 2 turns to navigate. We're not going to brake, we're not going to shift back. All we have to do is find a good line and play with the power for a bit. The most important thing is when you apply the power, you find so much grip in the banking, but when you come off of it, do be careful for the understeer that will occur as you get closer and closer to the wall. Just play with the gas for a bit, and this one shouldn't be too hard. That's Northern Isle completed, and now we're on to Trial Mountain. I also remember this one from Gran Turismo 2 back in the day. I think it's pretty much the same. Of course, some slight changes here and there, but the layout's pretty much the same, and it's amazing. I think it's really fun to drive on. So let's get into it. In a Mazda GT3, now this first sector is really quick, especially this first turn. Just get it as close as you can to the barriers, maybe even closer than that. You can cut a lot of the track there, not so much anywhere else. Use the curbs as a guideline. As long as you don't cross them, you should be good. As you enter the tunnel, you want to shift it back into 3. Be careful with the power here, because as you go over the crest, the car becomes really light and it's so easy to just lose it. Through here, you want to get it back into 2. Try and have some smooth power application there. Back into 2 here really helped me out. Send it through here, and then you really want to cut the lines here. This is all part of the track. Use it so you can get on the power as quickly as you can. Again, be careful with the power application, not so much, you might get as much oversteer as I did. But it's a really long straight up the hill here, so you want to get as much speed as you can in here. There's a banked left-handed corner coming up. You want to use that orange sign on the right side as a brake pocket. Just brake about a car's length before it, you should be good. Let the car run wide here. Make sure you give yourself some room for these couple of corners coming up. Brake just before coming on top of the hill. And really let those right tires ride on that yellow curb there. To give yourself a good line through it. Just before coming down the hill, you want to do the same thing. Slow it down into 2, hit that yellow curb with the inside tires. And through here, I didn't really find a good braking marker, just kind of feel it out. Back into 2. Don't get on the power too quickly because you really want to set yourself up for this one. Smooth on the power because it's easy to oversteer and spin the car out here. And now it's just a straight dash towards the finish line. Pedal to the metal and we're across the line. And that's another round done. Very nice. So the big tips, this Mazda's pretty easy to understeer. Don't get on the power too much until you're clear of the apexes. And also keep it smooth in the slow corners, because as you saw, it's also possible to give it oversteer if you're too quick on the gas out of those. Otherwise, lovely track. I think the elevation changes really make it interesting. So that's Trial Mountain done. 3 more tracks completed. Thank you for being here. We'll see you next time. Have a good one.